we just try to stay within this
This
on the
line
map
behind
somewhere,
it.
but
Yeah, behind the line.
yeah. Because then Andrew's going to get down and crouch to get tighter shots, and every now and then. Good morning, everyone. Time for another podcast, our Adoptable Pet Show with Cape and Animal Aid. Matt McMakin and Andrew Nicastro are in the studio right now setting up. We got a pretty special show for you today. We're going to show off 3 adoptables that have yet to be listed on Animal Aid's site. So they have not been posted yet, so we don't know much about them. We do know that we have a 5-year-old dog named Samantha. Here she is. And then we're also going to show off 2 kittens that are part of Animal Aid's Spay Mama program, and their names are, no joke, Samuel L. Jackson and James Earl Jones. Now, of course, these are all temporary names because they're so young. But anyway, there is that. Now, Dr. Meredith is inside, so is James from Animal Aid, and special guest, Sunniva Buck. She is the executive director at Cape and Animal Aid, so we're going to learn way more than you need to know about everything they do there at Four Paws Lane in Gloucester. So, without further ado, let's start another podcast. All right, folks, we're here for another episode of the podcast. We mentioned from the top of the show that we have a new guest with us today. She is Sunniva Buck. She's the executive director of Cape and Animal Aid. Hello, Sunniva.
Hello, Kory. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, so fun to have you at the house. And so full disclosure, Sunniva and I grew up and graduated together. Yes. And we've got a great relationship through for Animal Aid for years now.
Yeah.
And so super excited to have you here too and tell us all things Cape and Animal Aid. But we also want to mention that Jane is back with us again today. Great to see you, Jane.
Having us.
And the good Dr. Lockwood is chasing a kitten right now.
Yes, I made a mistake and let the kitty go.
Oh,
Now she wants to hide. He wants to hide under things.
Yeah.
Kitty pie, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
so
okay.
we have a special show today because we have a dog and 2 kittens to show off. So I think we want to talk about the kittens first once Meredith wrangles one.
Success.
We're back.
Yeah. So we have temporary names, of course. James Earl Jones and Samuel L. Jackson are with us. Yeah. And then we'll also get to Samantha and her story a little bit too. But okay, right off the top, the background on Samuel and James.
Yes.
What exactly are we dealing with here today, Sunniva?
So Samuel and James are kittens that came to us through our Spay Mama program. And that's a program that we offer when folks have an accidental litter, maybe for whatever reasons they didn't have resources, didn't get mom spayed. They can reach out to us and they surrender the kittens or puppies to us, and they go through our adoption program, and then we provide a free spay for the mama animal who stays with the owners. And if they have other intact animals in the house, we work with them as well on doing low-cost spay-neuter for the rest of the animals in the home. And we've seen a huge increase in the activity in that program. So far this year, we've had 10 adults that have been spayed and returned to their families, and 42 kittens come in through that program. So there's been a big increase. There's some access to care issues for pet owners, including costs. So we are seeing a lot more intact animals in our communities. So our Spay Mom program is one way that Cape Ann Animal Aid is helping to decrease those numbers. And we also just started a low-cost spay-neuter program for residents on the North Shore. We started initially with just Cape Ann, and then we've expanded it to the whole North Shore area. So it's income eligible, but up to 300% of the federal poverty level, and you can apply for the program, and we're able to provide low-cost spay-neuter for pets to, again, prevent unwanted litters being born in our area, and hopefully reducing pet surrender and some of the other issues that come with that overpopulation.
So do you know that much about their backstories at all, Steve?
These guys, I just know that they have been very well loved because they're very well socialized kittens. The owner, their cat, I'm not sure of all the reasons as to why the cat was not spayed, but they did the right thing as soon as they figured out that the cat was having a litter. They reached out to us, let us know their situation, and we were happy to work with them. And they have mom. They kept the kittens until they were 8 weeks old and then surrendered them to us. And then typically what we do is we spay mom within a few weeks of the kittens being weaned. We want to give mom a little time of recovery. And then she comes in, has her spay surgery with us, and goes right back home with her family.
Gotcha. So we were talking off camera about this. I saw 22 cats and kittens, I believe, posted on the website, but that number is actually much higher.
Much higher than that. We have 56 in our care right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow. And so is it a matter of some of the animals just aren't ready to be posted yet? And what would be some of those reasons?
Yeah. Go ahead.
They could be in foster homes. So we have, litters of kittens. A lot of times if we have, a pregnant mom that comes in, the kittens aren't ready to be adopted out yet, so they could be waiting for that. We also have animals through our transport program that come in and they're not altered yet, so they may be waiting for spay-neuter surgeries. So there's a lot of different reasons. And then, if they were to get sick while they're here, we want to make sure that we have them in tip-top health before they were to go home. So there's definitely a lot of reasons that we might have animals in our care.
Yeah, sometimes working on behavior, sometimes waiting for some medical stuff. Like Samantha, when she first came in, we discovered she had luxating patella, so we wanted some time to see, is that impacting her? Is that, causing her pain or discomfort or affecting her mobility?
So what is that exactly?
Luckily.
I
will let you the expert.
It's pretty common in smaller breeds. Luxating patella just means the kneecap, which sits right on top of their knee joint, is sliding, and usually it's sliding towards the middle. And often it's a subclinical thing. They don't really feel any necessarily discomfort from it or have any symptoms. And again, smaller toy breeds, it's pretty common. But if it is affecting them, there is a surgery that can be done to help make it stay in place.
Okay.
Again, most of the time they're not really terribly affected by it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and we want to say, so none of these adoptables are posted as of yet, but we do believe the kittens will be today.
The kittens will be today, and then Samantha will.
She
will work her way in. She will crawl her way in.
You are trying hard to get a home, huh?
Samantha's pretty much ready to be posted. She is going to an event on Saturday at Ira Subaru in Peabody. So
Busy
Subaru loves pets. October is their month where they kind of really live up to that mission. So we are going there. We're going to have some of our adoptables, and Samantha will be one of them there. So if you really can't get enough of her today, you've got to come see her in person. She's even better in person.
Sweet.
Yeah.
She's very sweet.
And she's obviously not timid or scared of the kittens at all.
No.
They're a little unsure. They might not have met a dog this up close and personal before, but they're being very good with her.
Yeah.
So
They're very tolerant. I mean, these kittens were certainly well loved and well socialized. They're well-adjusted little guys.
Yeah.
And we set up a basket for them to sit in because cats often do like to be in an enclosed private space. So when I let James or Samuel go, we don't know which one this is, he immediately went under the couch and tried to hide. So that's common. I put him back in his kennel just to give him some quiet, but then he wanted to pop right back out. So he's just staring at her like, what's going on?
Yeah. I think they want to interact with her, but they're unsure.
Yeah. Might just take some time.
So Samuel and James are 8 weeks old.
Yep.
So
just about.
some of the expectations for a potential parent here? What can they expect from? What are they getting when you get an 8-year-old kitten?
8-week-old,
New
yeah.
to this
A
game.
lot of fun.
You are getting
Or
a lot of
April,
fun,
April,
a
sorry.
lot of cuteness,
Yeah.
and a baby, a toddler. I always equate puppies and kittens to toddlers without diapers and with claws and teeth. So they investigate everything, they get into everything. They make you laugh a lot, but they can be a little mischievous. So it's similar to bringing a baby into the house. You have to toddler proof. You have to kitten proof the home. Make sure there's no plants within their reach that they can chew on. Make sure wires are covered. He's super wiggly right now. Yeah. You want to make sure that like little spots, they do like to hide when they're uncertain. So we always recommend folks set them up in one small room initially. So if they're hiding under the couch, that you can find them versus giving them access to the whole house at first, because they can tuck themselves in like under the fridge or inside a recliner or dangerous spots for them. So setting them up in the one small room, having their litter pan, their bed, their toys. Kittens are also often like small children. They like the wrapping better than the toy. So sometimes just cardboard rolls and crinkly bits of paper, those kind of things can be really
Cardboard
fun.
boxes.
Yeah, cardboard boxes are great.
favorite.
Baskets, things like that. And litter box, they're babies, so they can have accidents. So some of them just need a little more confinement first. Again, that small room, so they know where their litter box is. Sometimes the mistake, you kind of put the litter box maybe in the bathroom, but then you give the kitten free roam of the whole house. And if they're, on the second floor, the bathroom's like going across the Grand Canyon if they really have to go. So just being mindful of that, having litter boxes nearby when they're first learning the lay of the land, sort of thing.
Yeah. So, because I'm still sort of fascinated by just the volume of adoptables you have there now. So Jane, can you just talk to like the separate quarters there for the cats and dogs? And now you have more than 5 cats and kittens there now. So how does that work out with the staff?
Yeah, so
there?
we're actually facing kind of a unique challenge right now, which is that we have a little bit of a cat cold going around, which adds another layer of complication. So fortunately, we do have different spaces in the shelter that we can separate guys. If this one's sneezing, we can keep him kind of separated. But we have a lot of different housing types too. So we have some colony rooms where, if we have an adult cat or a pair of adult cats, that they can kind of spread out a little bit more. And the cats are housed separately from the dogs, of course. But, the volume that you're talking about really speaks to the importance of our foster program, too. And I know we've talked a lot about our foster program. But when we do have, especially if we have illness, colds in the shelter, it can be really helpful to get the animals that are not sick into foster homes so that they stay healthy.
Interesting.
And we have
there's
16
always
animals in foster right now.
Oh, you do?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And again, if we get animals that are too young, if these guys came to us and they were 6 weeks old, we wouldn't adopt them out until they're 8 weeks old. So getting them into a foster is really great, so that they don't have to spend that 2 weeks at the shelter.
Yeah.
And they're in a home and they're used to being, around people.
And foster also
gonna
provides
fall
them a break, like dogs like Samantha, sometimes just even a weekend, a weekend out of the shelter where they can decompress. They have a living room, they have a quiet environment, they're not having a lot of, different interactions by a variety of people, things like that. It can make a big difference for them and really help their emotional and sort of mental health.
Good point. Well, let's pivot towards Samantha then. So what is her story? Now, she's 5?
We guess, it's an estimate.
5 years, that is.
Yeah.
5 years.
Okay, and how does she come to the shelter?
So she is from Puerto Rico, so she's one of our transports. She's very lovely, very nice, sweet girl. Seems to really like being in laps. Lap dog, snuggler.
Yeah, we before on your way over here, you said you think it's it's listed as a Maltese mix. But Meredith, you were saying it looks
I
like
think
a long-haired
Chihuahua, maybe even some Papillon, just with her curly tail and
Her nice
just-
ears.
not too much hair coming out of the ears, but I think she might have some Papillon even. But
For-
you're very cute.
For $65, her future owner can find out what she is.
Yes,
They wanna get
exactly.
a
Want to do a
DNA
DNA
but-
test, yeah.
She obviously loves other animals. She is
does.
very interested in these guys.
Yeah, currently she's in foster currently, and she has a couple of canine foster siblings, and several foster feline siblings, and she's gotten along with them all well. The only thing her foster mom reported is occasionally if she has a real high value treat, she'll grumble at the other dogs if they come near her, which is kind of funny because the other dogs are literally like 6 times her size at least.
Always the little
at
ones.
least. But that's it. Not with people at all. She's been fine. It's just she doesn't want to share her Snickers with the other dog, and I don't blame her. I'm not sharing mine either.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah.
Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little
So
dog.
That'll
small
be tough
dog.
when you're
Yeah. You have to make sure they know you mean business.
Yep. And I know you said she's had some dental work done.
Yeah, she's
some
had a couple of extractions, and some of her canines are worn down, so she can get a little bit of a snaggle tooth look, which we think just adds to her charm.
Yeah.
She also has that spot on her eye,
Yeah.
which could either be, Dr. Beckett thinks it could either be a birth defect or an old injury.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be bothering her. Again, a lot of these kind of conditions, we just watch the animal. And it's how they respond. You know, if she seems to be irritated by it, things like that, then we might address it more. If it doesn't seem to be bothering her, then it's just part of like her medical disclosure. So our special needs guys always have a disclosure that shares as much information as we can with their new adopter. And then they can share that with their veterinarian, and they can pursue, care based on how the animal is showing symptoms or not.
Yeah. And we want to mention that Dr. Becca is the in-house veterinarian at Cape Ann Malade.
Oh, goodness.
Meredith is a real live veterinarian here. She is our in-house veterinarian here. So at first blush, do you pick up on any
No, I was
potential
looking
issues,
at
or
her
does things
eye.
seem fine?
Yeah, I was looking at that eye. It's very inactive. It does look like it was something way in the past, either, like Suneva said, genetic or maybe a prior injury, but it's fully healed. So I wouldn't expect her to have any problems from that.
Yeah.
And you'll see it's just a little kind of blue dot on her left eye. But the eye, there's no redness, there's no excess discharge. She's not squinting. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Should not keep her from being adopted.
No.
It's
Very
personality
healthy
plus.
and happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the other things going on at Ann Malade, ladies. So, first of all, Halloween is right around the corner, right? So, what do you want to go over this big event you have going on right now?
Yeah, so we're doing some trick-or-treating at the shelter on the trails. We're going to have some fall-themed activities that you can do with your pup. And you can walk the trails and bobbing for hot dogs and donuts on a string and all that fun stuff. So that sign up is on our website for folks to come and.
We should probably clarify, it's trick-or-treating for the dogs.
For the
I was
dogs.
gonna
Yes,
say.
for the
Yes.
dogs. Yes,
So people are already signing up. Like, hey, I'll bob for hot dogs.
Bobbing for hot dogs.
Costumes optional, but
Costumes encouraged.
Encouraged, yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
We'll have a little disposable camera. You can take a picture with your pup at the end in costume. So
Yeah.
we're really hoping to see some folks come out for that.
That's really cool.
And then we do have an update on the Tito's project as well.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
been
yeah,
kinda
that's right.
talking about the back play yards. So.
he can hide. He can hide.
He's
That's
under the
made a
couch
break for
again.
yes.
So work is underway with that. The crew at Cutting Edge has been we've been working with to do that, and they have gotten a lot of the work done already, which is great. So we're hoping we'll have some pictures to share of that very soon.
That's awesome.
Get it done before winter.
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll be doing some solar lighting out there too, so that with the darker days, the yards will still be usable. So
that's
yeah,
great.
it's very exciting.
Yeah, we're super
So now
excited.
with
It looks great.
daylight savings on the way. Did any behaviors or anything change within Animal Aid as far as treatment or pet behavior or just activities and the frenzy of the holidays coming upon us?
Yeah, so we're really lucky that we have the indoor enrichment space now in the shelter. So when it does get really either cold or super dark, super early, that we can utilize
Those
that
big
for the
rainy
dogs.
days,
So,
yeah.
the rain, the snow, all that fun stuff that's headed our way. We are well prepared for. And then we do have some solar lights in most of our yards that we can use them because the sun does start to go down pretty early now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kitty's walking on the back wall, and Samantha is just
Yes.
She is-
watching
It's
her.
funny
intently.
because she's not as intent when they're sitting with us here, but over there she's much more
She's shaking.
enticing.
She's so excited.
Yeah, she's like, I want to go check
I can
her
go
out.
get him again.
I can do it.
I try to with kittens, obviously sitting very nicely right now, but he did not want to be in my arms anymore, and I'm not going to force him. So he's exploring over under the couch right now. But
Yeah, and that's actually a good example of too when you were asking about like pet ownership with new kittens.
Yeah.
Right, they don't always want to be held, and sort of respecting that boundary and not pushing them beyond. Just like sometimes we don't want to be touched. Animals sometimes don't want to either. And playing into your question too about like activities at the shelter and how things can affect them. That's one of the things too at the shelter that we do. We do have somewhat of a limitation on our visitors, and it's for the animals' health. That we ask when people come that they visit either with the cats or with the dogs, and that they don't go in with them unless they've actually got an approved application, because for the animals it can be stressful, even though for us we think it's a fun experience petting them and loving up on them. If they have 30 different people coming in wanting to touch them, when that family comes in who is ready to add a pet to the home, they're kind of done, shut off.
Yeah.
So we try to respect their boundaries about what they want for physical affection as well.
He's coming back around.
Oh,
He's got sniffing your shoe, Kory. And I would highly encourage, if you're going to adopt one kitten, two
Yeah,
is
two is
even better.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
see, like, they've been sitting separately, but they're brothers, litter mates. They're probably pretty, bonded to each other or seek each other for comfort. And a kitten adopted at 8 weeks of age, often having that sibling or litter mate to grow up with, it's just a nice thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they hit that teenage kind of, and they do that predatory play, which is totally natural for cats, if they're a singleton, it can present, or people often misinterpret it as aggression, because they'll hide, when you're walking down the hall and they leap out and bite your calf, and you think, oh my gosh, this cat's behaving so aggressively, and they're not. They're doing their natural instincts to start hunting and catching prey. And if they have another kitten or cat in the house, they can pounce on each other and wrestle with each other, and it's a much more sort of healthy way for them to express that.
Yeah. And I would say that too, if you have an adult cat at home already, certainly you can bring a kitten to the adult cat, but that predatory behavior that they do as play can be a little bit conflicting sometimes. So adopting 2 kittens with an adult cat, I just think it's easier on the adult cat, certainly. Yeah. And a slow introduction is always better, no matter what.
Yeah.
So Jane, when I'm on the website and I see that particular kittens or cats are bonded, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so that means that they really truly need to go into the home together, and we will only adopt them together. So where these guys, we don't have them as a bonded pair, they could go separately, and again, hopefully to the, the right sort of environment for them. But if they are bonded, we actually have a bonded protocol at the shelter that the staff will go through to make sure, determine whether they are truly bonded. Pumpkin and Patches, who we talked about, the 2 adult cats, were bonded to each other. We did attempt to see how they would do on their own, and Pumpkin was very despondent, upset that Patches was not with him. So you generally can tell if they really truly need to go home.
And this bonding just happens naturally? Can it happen with kittens or cat outside of each other's, like, not siblings?
Yeah, we've actually had it happen in the shelter where we have had like a shy cat and another cat that's social sort of bond to, like they've bonded together in the shelter environment and seek each other out. And so then we recognize that and we've placed them as a bonded pair. So sometimes they just, again, will have that kind of connection. Just like some people have that connection, sometimes some of the animals just have that connection and they really pine for each other. And that's when Jane was talking about our staff doing the bonded pair protocol, is there's steps about gradually separating them and monitoring them and seeing if they're despondent without the other, matching them up with another kitty and seeing if it's just that they need another cat, because then we can say, well, this cat just needs to go into a multi-cat home, or do they truly need that cat, that particular individual cat, and that's what we try to evaluate.
Okay.
And on the opposite end, there's certainly animals who want to be the only animal in the house, both dogs and cats, and I'm sure you can kind of see the signs of that in the shelter as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And those are probably the ones that benefit from being in foster rather than in the shelter.
Yes, absolutely.
Much less stressful environment for them.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground with these 3 in particular, so one of them found the scratch post.
Always trying to get up.
Krista, she loves your drawings, by the way. Or he does.
I'll go get them.
Now he's going to clean his foot.
So let's stay because we're live today, and so if someone out there were interested in the kittens, right, specifically, how would they go about following up to try to come and visit and see if they're the right match for them?
Yeah, so our adoption application is always on our website, so people can fill that out as soon as they see them, and we encourage people to apply as soon as they do see a cat that they're or dog that they're interested in, because we process applications on a first come best fit basis. So you want to get your application in quick. You're not tied to the animal that you apply for, so if you come in and you meet with them and you're not really hitting it off as much as you hoped you would, you don't have to leave with that cat, but the sooner that you get your application in, the better, the sooner that we can start approving it. We do same-day adoptions at the shelter, so you could apply, if they're posted today, you could apply today, you could go home with them today. So yeah, it's usually a pretty quick turnaround.
And some people don't like to fill out the application without first coming in and looking around, and that's fine too. You're welcome to come during our open hours. Some people come in, look around the shelter, see them in person, and then just fill out the app on their smartphone, and we can start that approval process as well.
Okay, and then, so now, let's say they're ready to physically visit the shelter and meet the prospective adoptables for the first time. What is that process and experience like?
Yeah, so we have open hours that we're open for people to just drop in and visit. So we're open, today is Thursday, we're open 12 to 6. And all weekend from 12 to 5. We're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. But folks can come in and just visit. Sneeva was mentioning earlier that we have some protocols in place for the number of people who visit at once. So if you come on a weekend, typically it can be kind of busy, so there could be a wait to go upstairs and visit. But you can just drop in and come and visit. If you apply ahead of time and you're approved, our adoption counselors reach out to schedule appointments. So depending on which route you go, there's, a little bit of a different process.
When you have your appointment, you come in, you check in at the front reception desk. We call upstairs. The adoption counselor knows you're coming in. They meet with you, and then they answer the questions that you might have about that pet, and they can give you tips on training and tips on the particular personality, what they're seeing. They chat with potential adopters sort of about their expectations, what they're looking for, and then just try to help make sure that it's the right match for both parties.
Yeah. So now Samantha is in a foster right now?
She is.
So how does that work if, I'm interested, hey, today can I meet Samantha? What is it like to contact that foster, and how quick can...
Depends on who's fostering her. So she's being fostered by a staff member, so she's at the shelter during the days that she's working. But typically it's, if you were to stop in, they're not at the shelter, they're in a foster home. So you would need to apply first, and then we would set up an appointment. We do Zoom meetings with the potential adopters and the foster, just as a quick touch base, ask questions, see them in the home, really kind of determine if you want to take the time to meet up at the shelter and meet them in person. And then at that point, you would come to meet them at the shelter.
Yeah. So it's the same thing.
That you're taking them home that day.
Yeah, it's by appointment, and if they're in foster, it actually has on their name on our website has a hyphen foster, so that just looking, it would say Samantha hyphen foster when she's available, and you'd know she's not actually physically in the shelter, and we try to put that in the first sentence of her bio, so people understand that. And it's great, especially for the kitties, because to what Meredith was saying, like if they don't like other animals, or they're kind of reactive, or they're stressed out in the shelter environment, when they're in foster and you can do that video call, the foster person can really tell you about the personality, and you can see the cat, sitting on their lap or lounging next to them on the couch, or those kind of things. So you really get a much clearer idea of who the animal is than what you see when they're in a shelter. Just because the shelter is such a contrived environment, you don't see what they're going to be like in a home. So,
Yeah, that's right.
And all these foster parents are very local as well, and not too far from the shelters over in West Gloucester.
And very passionate. I mean, they're spending a lot of time with these animals, and they can really give you a clear picture of the personality, the likes, the dislikes, what they're seeing with them in their home. So it really adds another level to that. I think it's really helpful with successful placement.
Yeah, nice. Well, before we wrap things up, I did kind of want to get a bit about each of your backstories and how you ended up at Animal Aid, right? So, Steve, having grown up with you, we always see you have your different career paths and all that. So, how long have you been at Animal Aid, and how did you get involved to begin with?
I know, it's so funny. I lose track. I've been there, I think, about 24 years. And I always had a passion for animals. I had my paper route was like my first official job. And
Me too.
I spent all my money on, you probably won't say me too to this, all my money on buying things like chicken livers and gizzards and making homemade cat
That's why we weren't
food.
hanging out with you.
Making homemade cat food for a feral colony that on my paper route.
That's awesome.
So I always, had an attraction to animals and a love for them. And I actually started at the shelter part-time. They were looking for part-time help cleaning animal cages. And my son was in school, and it worked with my hours. And one thing led to another. I just really wanted to see our organization grow, and felt like there was a lot of need out there. And so one foot in front of the other, and here we are.
And what a difference 24 years makes, right? Just in seeing. Because I remember when I was really young, wasn't Animal Aid on Main Street?
It was on Main Street. That was our Pepto-Bismol pink stucco building,
right.
held together lovingly with duct tape.
Yep.
We had a really sort of old, rundown building, but we did the best that we could with that space, and predominantly cats. When I first started there, I think we had like one dog a year in the kennel. And so that's when we first started looking into transport programs, because we had this space and we knew there were animals out there who were being euthanized because there wasn't adopters for them. And so we had this space, and that's when we first started networking more and branching out to other places in Massachusetts and then beyond Massachusetts.
Right. Yeah, because for those of you who aren't local, the facility, where Animal Aid is at 4 Paws Lane over in West Gloucester is exquisite. It's awesome. It's big, spacious. In a wooded area over there.
We're so lucky.
Right behind a cemetery. It's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
And that place is impressive.
Yeah, our community is impressive. We are very lucky. We are very blessed. We have a lot of animal lovers in this community. We have a lot of supporters who really have made all of this possible. So I really can't stress that enough. It's the community that allows us to do the work and is part of that work. We have, over 150 volunteers. We have, I think, over 40 foster homes, and that's our community in action. So it's really been a blessing to be part of this whole process.
Yeah. Well said. How about you, Jane?
So I have a very unconventional path here. So I went to school, got a film degree. My parents are very proud of me for getting that film degree.
Look at you.
I went into community access, actually.
Did you really?
For
You were smart enough to get out, though.
Yeah. So I worked with our volunteers in my last job before I came here. And so got into working in the shelter doing our volunteer program. So it was kind of like I worked with our volunteers there, started working with our volunteers here, and then now I've now moved over into the development and fundraising stuff.
Yeah.
So a little weird, but here we are.
Right. All's well that ends well, right?
Exactly.
Very cool.
You found the right place.
No, animals are, look at that.
I know.
It sells itself.
I know.
Do I really need to?
Yeah. So, Steve, do you want to express anything about Animal Aid to folks out there before we wrap things up?
Just like I said, we're very grateful for the community support. If you want to help, we are always looking for volunteers and fosters. We have a wish list of items that we are in need of. And we're just excited about being able to develop these new programs. So if you know folks that have an intact animal and maybe have some financial hardship, definitely send them in our direction too for our low-cost spay-neuter. We do some low-cost community vaccinations as well, and that's not income eligible. It's just open slots. So keep an eye on our website for that. We have a lot of exciting events coming up. Our Winter Ball will be in February this year, so
awesome.
Gearing up for that one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways people can help if they want to. So
I had a great conversation with someone at Senior Care, another local nonprofit, and all ago, because they do a pet sitting and pet walking service for seniors or housebound folks or folks that need help, which is really cool too. So maybe we can bring someone in from that program.
That's their stay program too. And so we've actually been working with them this year in being able to help get some of their clients through some of our vetting programs so that we can provide that low-cost service for them, and sharing with our volunteer pool that volunteer opportunity through stay as well, because truly that directly impacts our surrender rate, because as seniors who want to keep their pets but are unable to properly care for them, like maybe their mobility is affected and they can't walk their dog anymore, or they can't bend down and clean the litter pan, but they can still give them lots of love, they can still fill their food dish. We want that animal to stay in that home. We don't want them to have to come to the shelter. And so volunteers for that program help maintain and keep that pet in the home. We also contribute food to the open door for the dusky corner. So we contribute pet food and pet supplies, and that, along with sort of the low income veterinary resources, are all our efforts to help keep pets in the home that they're currently in.
Oh, there's a little meow.
She's talking, or he's talking finally. Yeah.
My guy fell asleep.
So was Samantha. She was just head bobbing.
Oh, girl.
He's like, his head's too heavy.
I know, but to your point, Steve, I mean, you realized how special of a community you live in when you have all these resources, all these people willing to pitch in and help out. It's an awesome thing to be a part of. So
It really is.
We've got great people who give what they can, and if they can't give financially, they give their time. And so, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, sharing posts, sharing events that are coming up, sharing adoptable animals, all of those kind of things really make a huge difference.
yeah, and the wish list does that live on the website
Yep,
too?
that's on
It
our
does-
website.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, very
Absolutely.
cool. Well, what do you
very
think? Time to
sleepy.
put a bow on this.
know.
Samantha needs a home.
Well,
so do James or Samuel.
I opened the churu, and
Okay,
yes,
that's
Samantha
what
is very interested in it. So
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here, Jane and Sunniva. It's
Thanks for
awesome.
having us.
Always catching
Yeah.
up. And look, honestly, like I say it every week, like we're so happy to be doing this with you. We wanted to do something for a long time, and it's fun, and you see the instant response from folks, and so we're hoping that we're actually going to start seeing some adoptions or progress or the answers to the wish list like in real time moving forward. So again, to you, the volunteers and the staff, everybody over there at Four Paws Lane, thanks for all you do. We really appreciate it. So until next time, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, folks, for the next podcast. So for the good Dr. Lockwood and Sunniva and Jane, I'm Kory. We'll see you next time on the podcast.